Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to get into the details of Social Security payments scheduled for May 2025.
That's right. There are a few key things happening this month, especially concerning payment dates.
Absolutely. And if you find this discussion helpful, please do take a moment to like this and subscribe for future updates.
Good point. Okay, so where should we start? Maybe with SSI.
Yeah, let's do that. Supplemental Security Income recipients have, well, something unusual happening in May, don't they?
They certainly do. They're actually set to receive 2 payments in May 2025.
2 payments. Okay, break that down for us.
Sure. So the first payment arrives right on schedule, May 1st. That's their benefit for the month of May.
Standard procedure there. What about the second one?
The second one comes much later in the month, specifically on May 30th. And this payment is actually for June.
For June. So they're getting June's payment in May. Why is that?
It's because of how the calendar falls. June 1st, 2025 lands on a weekend, a Sunday, actually.
Ah, okay. And the rule is they can't pay on a weekend or holiday, right?
Exactly. So the payment gets pushed to the preceding business day, which in this case is Friday, May 30th.
Which means, logically, no SSI payment in June itself.
Correct. They get the June payment early at the end of May, and then there's no check in June.
And this isn't just a one-off for May, June, is it? This happens other times, too.
That's right. This pattern, 2 payments in 1 month, then no payment the next, it repeats later in the year.
So when else should SSI recipients expect this?
They'll see it again between August and September, then October and November, and finally between December 2025 and January 2026.
Good to know. And remind us, who exactly qualifies for SSI?
Well, SSI, Supplemental Security Income, is a needs-based program. It's for people with limited income and resources.
Okay.
And they generally need to be aged 65 or older, or blind, or have a qualifying disability. That includes children with qualifying disabilities, too.
Is there an income limit?
Yes, there is. Generally, the income limit from work to remain eligible for SSI is usually around $2,019 per month, but it's always best to check specifics.
Right. And you mentioned about 7.4 million people receive SSI.
Roughly, yes. And an interesting point is that maybe about a third of those folks also receive traditional Social Security benefits.
So someone could potentially get 3 checks in May. Their regular Social Security, their May SSI, and their June SSI paid early.
It's possible, yes. If they receive both types of benefits and meet the criteria, May could see 3 deposits.
Wow. Okay. Let's shift gears then to traditional Social Security retirement, survivors, disability benefits. What's the May schedule look like there?
For most people, it follows the standard Wednesday payment schedule based on their birth date.
Can you run through that for us?
Sure. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment is scheduled for the 2nd Wednesday. In May 2025, that's May 14th.
Okay. 1st to 10th is May 14th. What about the next group?
If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, you get paid on the 3rd Wednesday, which will be May 21st.
May 21st for the 11th through the 20th.
Yeah.
And the rest.
Anyone born after the 20th, so the 21st through the 31st, their payment date is the 4th Wednesday, May 28th.
So the 14th, 21st, and 28th, all Wednesdays, covering most recipients based on birth date.
That's the general rule, but there's an exception.
Ah, yes. The folks who started receiving benefits a long time ago.
Exactly. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you're usually paid on the 3rd of the month.
So for May 2025, that would be May 2nd, since the 3rd is a Saturday.
Precisely. They'd likely get paid on Friday, May 2nd, or sometimes sources say the 3rd if it's direct deposit, but expect it around then.
Good clarification. And what about Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI? Does it follow the same pattern?
Yes. SSDI payments generally follow the same schedule as retirement benefits.
So if you started SSDI before May 97, payment around May 2nd.
Correct.
And if you started SSDI after May 97, it depends on your birth date, May 14th, 21st, or 28th.
That's exactly right. It aligns with the retirement benefit schedule based on birth date for those later recipients.
Okay. While we're talking benefits, what are the typical amounts people are receiving in 2025? Any averages?
Well, the average monthly Social Security retirement benefit in 2025 is estimated to be around $720.
$720 average.
Yeah.
And is there a maximum?
Yes, there's a maximum possible benefit. For someone who, say, waited until age 70 to retire and had consistently high earnings, the maximum monthly benefit in 2025 could be over $5,100.
Over $5,000. Quite a range there.
Definitely depends heavily on individual earnings history and retirement age.
Now, there were some significant updates affecting Social Security and SSI starting in 2025, weren't there?
But a couple of major ones. First, the cost of living adjustment, the KICO LA.
Right, the KICO LA. What was it for 2025?
It was 2.5%. This took effect back in January 2025 for both Social Security and SSI benefits.
2.5%. How much does that actually translate to for the average person?
Well, using that average benefit of around $720, a 2.5% CLA would add roughly $48 per month.
Okay, about $48 extra for the average retiree.
Approximately, yes. But it's crucial to remember it's a percentage, so the actual dollar increase depends on your specific benefit amount before the CLA was applied. Everyone should have received a notice about their specific increase.
Makes sense. And the other big change?
That would be the Social Security Fairness Act. It was passed in January 2025 as well.
The Fairness Act. What did that do?
This was pretty significant. It repealed two provisions that had been controversial for a long time: the windfall elimination provision, or WEP, and the government pension offset, or GPO.
WEP and GPO. Those affected people with pensions from government jobs, right? Jobs where they didn't pay Social Security taxes.
Exactly. WEP could reduce the Social Security retirement or disability benefits for those individuals, and GPO could reduce or eliminate spousal or survivor benefits.
So repealing them means those reductions are gone now.
That's the intention, yes. It addresses concerns about fairness for public sector workers who also qualified for Social Security based on other work.
That sounds like a positive change for those affected groups.
It was certainly lobbied for many years.
Now, alongside these benefit changes, are there any, operational issues people should be aware of with the Social Security Administration itself?
Unfortunately, yes, there are some potential concerns. There have been reports and statements about possible impacts on service due to changes within the SSA.
Such as?
Things like staffing reductions and some office closures. The former commissioner, Martin O'Malley, even voiced concerns that these changes could lead to delays.
Delays in what? Processing claims? Getting help?
Potentially, yes. Delays in processing new applications, handling appeals, maybe even just getting through on the phone lines or getting appointments. Something to be aware of.
Definitely. And that brings us to another critical point.
Yeah.
Reporting changes. How important is that right now?
It is absolutely crucial. The SSA requires beneficiaries to report certain changes in their circumstances promptly.
And there are consequences if they don't, especially starting around May 2025.
Yes. The agency has indicated that starting in May 2025, they may suspend benefits for individuals who fail to report necessary changes.
Suspend benefits. That's serious. What kind of changes must be reported?
It's a fairly broad list. Obviously, the death of a beneficiary needs reporting. For SSDI recipients, returning to work and earning over the limit is key.
Okay.
Also, reaching full retirement age while on disability, or for SSI recipients, leaving the U.S. for more than 30 days.
What about life events?
Yes, things like getting married, divorce, changing your address, starting a new job, or even receiving a significant inheritance or sum of money. All these can affect eligibility or benefit amounts.
So the bottom line is, if something significant changes in your life or finances, tell the SSA.
Tell the SSA. Don't wait. It's better to report something that doesn't matter than to misreporting something that does and risk having your benefits stopped.
Okay, let's quickly recap those May 2025 payment dates again, just to be clear. SSI first.
Right. SSI payments are May 1st for May benefits and May 30th for June benefits. No payment in June itself.
Got it. And traditional Social Security.
If you started benefits before May 1997, or if you get both SSI and Social Security, expect payment around May 2nd or possibly the 3rd.
Okay.
For everyone else, it's based on birth date. Birthdays 1st to 10th get paid around May 14th, although some sources might say the 8th, check your account.
Right. Always best to check directly. Birthdays 11th to 20th.
Around May 21st, maybe the 15th mentioned sometimes. Again, check your specific.
And birthdays 21st to 31st.
Scheduled around May 28th, possibly listed as the 22nd in some places. That Wednesday schedule is the main guide, but variations exist.
Which leads perfectly to my next question.
Yeah.
How can people check their specific dates and amounts?
The best way by far is to use the SSA's official website and log into your personal My Social Security account.
My Social Security, that has all your personalized info.
Exactly. It will show your specific payment dates, your benefit amounts, your CLA notice details, everything related to your record. It's the most accurate source.
What if a payment just doesn't show up when expected?
The SSA advises waiting 3 mailing days first, just in case there's a slight postal delay or bank processing lag.
Okay, wait 3 days. Then what?
If it still hasn't arrived after 3 mailing days, then you should contact the Social Security Administration.
Wow.
You can call their main number, which is 1-800-772-1213, or if you use TTY, it's 1-800-325-0778. You could also try contacting your local Social Security office.
Good to have those numbers handy.
Yeah.
So, summarizing the key points for May 2025.
Okay, SSI recipients get 2 payments, May 1st and May 30th for June. June. No SSI payment in June.
Traditional Social Security and SSDI follow the birth date schedule, May 14, 21, 28, or the early May date if you started pre-97.
Correct. Remember, the 2.5% COLA is in effect, and the WE GPO repeal from the Social Security Fairness Act is also active.
And critically, report any changes in your circumstances to the SSA to avoid benefit suspension.
Absolutely essential. And use your My Social Security account online for the most reliable, personalized information.
Excellent. That covers the key updates and schedules for May 2025. Very helpful.
Glad to clarify things. It can get a bit confusing with the different dates and rules.
It certainly can. Thank you for breaking it all down. Remember to check your My Social Security account for your specific details. Please like and subscribe if you found this helpful. We'll see you next time.